Hi, welcome to episode 2. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to apply my makeup while I talk to you and see how that goes, because I watched the last video where I'm just talking to you and it was good. I don't mind doing that, but I felt like I needed to be doing something. So while you listen to me, that I was doing something, moving. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to do my makeup while I talk to you. So what I want to talk to you today about is finding support in any shape that looks like. So if you have a child with autism, I highly suggest you find some supports out there. It doesn't have to be a support group. It can be. Those can be beneficial to lots of people, but it also can just be in the area of just a friend could be a support for you, or parent, or even just a stranger that maybe might be going through the same thing that you find out about. And I can explain this as I go. So I went to a support group in my 20s for something different, and I did not feel like it helped me. I do think support groups help a lot of people, but for me, it just didn't really hit for me. Now, it was good that it put some things in perspective for me. I realized, wow, these other people have it way worse than me or going through a lot more than I am. And so it kind of helped me put things in perspective that, oh, maybe my issues are not as bad as what it could be. So that was helpful. But as far as getting true support from the group, I did not feel that. I think because of my personality, I'm more of a person who likes to support other people, and it's hard for me sometimes to receive support. I think there are a lot of people like me out there, and so it kind of, the support group almost drained me a little bit, because I wanted to help other people so much instead of getting the help that I needed. So I found help once I had a daughter with autism. I found help in seeking out my friendships. So I had one friend who, she did not have children, but she worked with people with developmental disabilities, and so adults specifically, which was a different perspective, but it kind of helped me. Again, even though she wasn't a mother, she was able to kind of give me almost that like professional opinion about things, and that was kind of helpful. And I almost could kind of detach when I talked with her, as though we were just two professionals talking about my daughter instead of making it more personal about my daughter. So that was kind of a good perspective. Then my other friend that I could talk to, she is a mother of two daughters, similar ages to mine. And she, even though she couldn't fully understand what I was dealing with my daughter with autism, she knew what it was like to be a mom and feel some of the similar feelings that I was feeling. And so that was really helpful to get her perspective. And she always said, like, okay, I don't fully know what you're going through, but I remember when my daughter was an infant and couldn't speak, and how scary when she got sick some of those things were. And so she was able to kind of put it in that type of perspective. Or I remember when my daughter was an infant and she was up throughout the night multiple times, even though she didn't know what that was like to have a 5-year-old with those issues, she was able to kind of go back to that time in her life and understand those moments. So that was helpful. And then when I say find someone on the street, you never know who you're going to meet. And at my work, there was a insurance salesman who came in for the day, and he was selling insurance, and he told us his story that he had a daughter and a son with autism. And so when I met one-on-one with him to kind of sign up for insurance, I explained, oh, I have a daughter with autism. And it was kind of just that instant connection. You just knew, like, oh, is your child a picky eater? So is mine. Is your child up throughout the night? So is mine. And we kind of bounced things off of each other, and it was like this instant I know exactly what you're talking about. You didn't have to over explain or anything like that. And he was saying he had a group, he was in a fraternity, and he had a little like dad's group chat, group thread. And he said that they text a lot on the phone, him and his friend group, but he said a lot of his friends don't understand what he's talking about because he has two children with autism. And he said, and my husband has said this too, he said, you know, when I try to explain to my friends what I'm talking about, they just don't fully get it. And then you just feel like you're over explaining or trying to make people think your situation is bad or worse than theirs. And you're not doing that. You're just trying to fully explain what your situation is. And it made them feel, my husband and this insurance salesman, it made him feel like he was burdening his friends. And so then he shut down. And so does my husband with his friends. He just kind of shuts down and, well, you're not going to get it. And I sound like I want you to feel sorry for me, which is not what they want, but they're just trying to get you to understand the depth of what they're going through. So anyway, it was kind of nice to just talk to that guy and say, yeah, I see you. I get what you're going through. You don't have to explain it. I know exactly where you are. So you never know where you're going to find that support. And it can just be in a moment. Like I said, I just had a 30-minute meeting with that guy, but I thought, wow, he knows what I'm going through. And you can find that out in the community. You can find people that are going through similar things as you. So anyway, just some thoughts on the topic. You can Google if there are support groups that in your area that are helpful. I highly encourage, just try anything. When you have a child with autism, you don't know what you need or what's going to hit. So just try everything. Try support groups. Try to talk to your friends. Like something's going to hit. It may take you a while, but something is going to hit that you're going to say, okay, this is working and this is exactly what I needed. And you may need a friend that doesn't talk about autism, and maybe you need that. You just need a break to get away and go watch a movie or do something that you don't even talk about autism. And maybe that's what you need, just a break from everything. So good luck. Hope that helps.